We need to come to
Start out by giving two personal anecdotes as to why GCCs changed my own personal journey in my life. Right? The first one is when we started our first venture fund. There were just no VCs in this country. This is I'm talking pre-Axel when we started Erasmus. And we were looking for somebody to be an LP. And guess who ended up being our LP? Google. Google had just set up their GCC here in Bangalore. And they wanted to partner with somebody who could give them a little bit of on-the-ground eyes and ears for what's happening in the ecosystem here. So one way Google thought they could do this is by becoming an LP in Erasmus. So they were our first LP, and so I owe a lot to Google for starting out the VC journey here in Bangalore. The second big personal moment was Sachin and Vinny of the Flipkart fame would have ended up going to the US had they not got a good product job at Amazon GCC in Bangalore. And this is the story of many good professionals from then and now. I think while we give software, startups a lot of credit for reversing this whole migration or stemming the whole migration to the US. I think we need to give GCCs a lot of credit to keep for having kept the best talent in the country by elevating the quality quotient of the jobs. So anyway, Sachin and Vinny ended up seeing what e-commerce is about and came out and started Flipkart, and that's again one of the great journeys we have had. So these are, I think, examples of how, very silently in the background, materially they have contributed to the ecosystem, the innovation quotient, and the ability of the startup ecosystem to bootstrap itself here in the country. And even today, I see for many of our SaaS companies, which are product companies, and today, of course, SaaS companies have become AI first companies. Nobody talks about SaaS anymore. You got to talk AI first. But these companies, the GCCs are a great bridge for them to be able to get to co-design and first do a small product here, build a team here, and then reach the main headquarters at a later point in time. So GCCs have been a great bridge for product because we always wanted to become a product nation. And so aspirationally, it's very difficult if some entrepreneur has never sold in the US, has never been in the US, how do they understand what it is to work on a use case, co-design something with a client? It's very difficult, and you can't do that, unfortunately, with Indian clients here because in many cases their technology adoption curve and where they are is never at the same level as where the GCCs are. So a great bridge for startups, and I think that's extremely important. And finally, if you look at the next 5-10 years, as you get more and more AI pervasively get into every aspect of the enterprise, I think while there will be a lot of tactical outsourcing, I think this wanting to create some of the data models and wanting to do some of the data work through the GCCs in-house here, I think will again play a very, very key role in capitalizing the AI talent that ultimately has to be built. Everybody wants AI talent, but who's going to build this AI talent, right? So I think it will be a great opportunity for the ecosystem here to leverage and work with the GCCs to build the AI talent. But net, I think amazing contributions, and thank you for all that you have done for the ecosystem here, especially the startup ecosystem. Thank you.
That many of the GCCs which are there in Bangalore and in other parts of the country are looking at the emerging clusters of Karnataka like Mysuru, Bengaluru and Hon'ble Minister. We have had a couple of very good investments which have come in, and we only want to make this more strong as we go ahead. So we've had consultations and we have taken inputs from all stakeholders. And I'm sure the policy which is going to come very shortly, I don't want to give too many details just to keep that anxiety and curiosity in what's happening. But generally we would work on strengthening the ecosystem in many ways, addressing each part of the GCC's life cycle and wherever support is required. Certainly talent will be one of the key things that we would be focusing on, and I think talent is our USP in a way. So we will work on that and see that it is strengthened through the policy and through other initiatives of the government. We have a big goal for ourselves. We know that as per the industry reports and all, the way global situation is changing, there is going to be a large influx of GCCs, many companies setting up their global capability centers in India. So we would like to get more GCCs and also increase our overall share of the GCCs. We have kept ourselves a target of at least 50% of India's GCCs to be in Bangalore and beyond Bengaluru. And I'm sure with support of all of you, this is possible. With that, we will just have a word from Dept. He will be talking about the GCC report that has been put together.
So as I think Prashant has mentioned to you, we all feel proud that that Bangalore is being the role model for the rest of the country in attracting the GCCs, and that has proven in many times. You take any sector, their GCCs are there. And most importantly, apart from the GCCs in the retail, GCCs in the financial sector, aerospace, etc., the Bangalore also showcased the GCCs for the semiconductor industry. 40% of the GCCs in the country are at the semiconductor oriented, and that is where the Bangalore stands out, and it has a major, contribution coming from these sectors. While this is all happening, we all know that pandemic hit us. That was the time that the talent has started moving closer to their hometowns. That is when the government came out with this mission called the Beyond Bangalore mission. That's where the government and the KDEM were all working together to make sure that the Beyond Bangalore cluster also would grow. It happened last 2 years. There are more than 46 companies have gone into these clusters, Mysuru, Bengaluru and Hon'ble, and much more than that, there are 15 GCCs have gone into those locations. When we talk to the people from the industry, and the industry also started showing interest. In fact, 2 months back we were at Mysuru, and then IBM has grown there at 400 people. And the gentleman who is heading that, he said by December we are going to be 1,000 people there. That means whatever people talk about the talent is no more an issue in these tier 2 clusters, and the talent is available. And then government policies are one of the best policies that anybody could see, encouraging the companies to go to that, the emerging clusters.
State and for the industry on where we stand, so I thought it should be done in Vidhana itself. I think there is no grander building in India where this could have been done. So if you have difficulty getting in and getting out, I'm sorry about that. And thank you to ANSR and KDEM and all the partners who have put in so much of effort and come up with the report for the landscape report for 2024 on GCCs in the state and also in the nation. So, as Ms. Smita earlier put it, India is no doubt leaping ahead, becoming the global GCC capital. But what is most encouraging is that Karnataka, as usual, is leading the way. And in Karnataka, Bengaluru, as usual, is playing the anchor, and we want to change that. And with close to around 1,600 GCCs in India, and with the projection of growth of 20%, we are set to back most of it here in Karnataka. I think we already have close to around 570 GCCs, or 39% of the share of all GCCs in India. And Karnataka has captured close to around 53% of India's total FDI in the computer hardware and software sector last year. So we have a great record to beat of last year, this fiscal year. And I'm sure that with all of your cooperation, we will be ensuring that we leave the rest of the competition behind. And among retail GCCs, we have 42%. Like earlier pointed out, in retail we have global players like Target, H&M, Walmart. And in the financial sector, we have cornered 33%. With people like Citibank, PayPal, Wells Fargo, right here in our backyard. And in the healthcare and life sciences, we have cornered 31% of the GCCs with Cigna, Lilly, and Merck being the champions here in Karnataka. And in manufacturing, we have a little bit of homework to do. And I think that is something that Naidu-ji, Prashant-ji, and Lalit-ji have to help us with. Manufacturing में थोड़ा कम है, 27%. So, but yeah, we can still pull up our socks on that. And with Worldwide going and Johnson Controls being here, I don't think why it should be very difficult for us to convince the rest of the ecosystem to be here. And I think the primary reasons why GCC is growing immensely in Karnataka is not because we have an unfair advantage. It has taken us 30 years to be where we are. So that unfair advantage that we have is thanks to inputs from industry leaders like you, thanks to successive governments that have brought in the policies, schemes that ensure that we have a very, very conducive environment for growth across sectors. Whether it is information technology, whether it's biotechnology, aerospace, electronics manufacturing, ESG, anything, we always have been, Karnataka as a state has always been proactive. So if you say we have unfair advantage, yes, we have unfair advantage, but we have gone through the grind as well. So it is not overnight that we become the fourth largest technology cluster in the world. And Mr. Prashant Prakash and yourself were saying that from BPO to IT-enabled services, now we have matured to a very great ecosystem of research and development and innovation. So it's taken us some time, and I think that is one of the reasons, because of the skilled workforce. 34% of the total GCC talent is available in Karnataka. Of course, the cultural diversity we bring in, the huge educational institutions that we have, the numbers like how Vidhana Soudha said, it is not only in Bengaluru, Hon'ble, Belgavi, Mysore, parts of Kalyan Karnataka, they're all children of engineers at great pace who can be skilled and re-skilled and upskilled. And I mean, this kind of agile skilled workforce, I don't think is available anywhere in India or in the world. And of course, R&D institutes that we have the C.V. Raman Institute, we have ISRO, we have NAL, we have HAL, we have the DRDO, we have the Indian Institute of Science. So all these organizations who have got more than 30-40 years of research and development experience are coming from our state. And for which, that's why we have got a great startup ecosystem as well. We have close to around 26,000 startups here with over 45 unicorns. And the government has special focus on ensuring that these startups are groomed, nurtured, incubated, not only in the city but also beyond Bengaluru as well. And of course, forward-looking policies is one of the major reasons why we are here. And these policies are always done with consultation with your kind self. Now, no policy in Karnataka happens without the consultation of the industry leaders, and whether it's an IT policy, whether it's an audiovisual and gaming and comics policy, BT policy, cyber security policy, engineering and research and development policy, data center policy, and soon we'll be coming up with the GCC policy, which all of you have given your inputs as well. So policy making, the ease of doing business, a government that listens is very important, and I think these are some of the few reasons why we are today one of the leaders in GCC. And the report also has another report last evening, and it also not only establishes why we are leaders, but also sort of a blueprint for how we need to go ahead. I'll not take much time, but just one or two points I'd like to touch upon and give confidence to both the GCC leaders present here as well as our friends from the media on how we intend to work towards strengthening our position as GCC leaders. Number one, the state will have more focus on GCCs in emerging sectors, that is data analytics, AR, VR, AI and machine learning, cloud computing, robotic process automation, IoT. We had a conversation last week on quantum computing. So we are trying to go even vertical specific so that there is a sense of security among the existing GCCs, also saying that we are ahead of the curve when it comes to policy making in these sectors. So that is one sector-specific focus we will be having. And the second one is that the report states that we are capable of attracting 15% of the top Forbes 2000 enterprises, 15%. And I think if we play our cards right and with all your support, we should be making the 25% as well. And this is what you're suggesting, 15%, you're suggesting by 2030. I don't think why we should not put ourselves a little more aggressive targets to ensure that we at least going for 20 to 25%. And the government of Karnataka is here to support you in all your endeavors, and we are going to ensure that all of you will be in a good space to ensure that we will be able to propel ourselves in this area. And with that 15% that is being targeted for 2030 and the top 2,000 Forbes enterprises, we intend to generate close to around 1 million professionals. So employment of for 1 million professionals. And also, like I said earlier, we will be coming up with a solid GCC policy with the consultation with all of you, and also proposing a special reskilling or upskilling program for GCCs. So if there is anything that that the industry leaders have suggestions for how we can attract more GCCs to a faster and more scalable reskilling and upskilling programs will be able to help you with so that we can accelerate the growth in this sector. And of course, beyond Bengaluru is a very, very big focus for us. And soon we will be coming up with a plug-and-play facility for GCCs in Mysore. So already the cabinet has given nod to acquire a building so that we can come up with a plug-and-play facilities for GCC. So anybody who wants to have a flavor of how the ecosystem beyond Bengaluru is, suppose it's in Mysore, Hon'ble, Belgavi, Hubli, we will be more than happy to accommodate that plug-and-play facility for GCC. So the idea is to ensure that we grow wherever there is talent, or we need to ensure that the talent is moved out of Bangalore so that your investments come down, your profit rates go high, and more importantly, we have a great ecosystem beyond Bangalore as well. So these are some 2 or 3 really important things I think we should be doing to ensure that we accelerate growth in the GCC sector.
Head of Marketing to be presenting the report. But but I just want to set the context for this report. Many years back, I had the opportunity to meet the Hon'ble Minister along with Prashant to make a case for GCCs, and it's interesting how we've come a full circle. So if Bangalore had, as a city, had a second name, possibly we'll call it as a GCC city. I mean, GCCs and Bangalore are in many ways synonymous. Bangalore in many ways has unfair advantage that cannot be replicated by any other city. And this is the advantage of the ecosystem.